Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here. So the KO Doctor lives up to his name and knocks out Andrew Tabiti in the 10th round. Now, I expected Dorticos to win this fight. I picked him by knockout. I just expected it to be a bit earlier. I felt his pressure would be a bit too much for the lesser experienced and smaller Andrew Tabiti, and that turned out to be the case. Early on in the fight, Tabiti looked fairly elusive, he looked fairly quick on the back foot, he was popping that jab to body and head, and Dorticos was kind of following him around the ring, trying to land his big right hand. But in the first, I would say 3 to 4, maybe 5 rounds, Dorticos was missing most of his right hands. Tabiti did a good job of rolling under it, but the only thing was, yes, he was making Dorticos miss, but he wasn't really making him pay. There were very few moments where Tabiti would make Dorticos miss and he would then connect with a counterpunch. And that was a big mistake on his part because he just wasn't really discouraging Dorticos from coming forwards. So despite him missing, despite Tabiti being good defensively, that didn't really discourage Dorticos. He never really got frustrated. And in the first 5 rounds, it was quite nip and tuck. You could score a lot of those rounds either way, whether you preferred Dorticos' aggression and work rate and pace, or whether you preferred Tabiti's back foot boxing. But I would say after the 5th round, that's when Dorticos really started to make it a rough and tumble fight. Round 5 was when I noticed the fight starting to turn. Dorticos was still applying that pressure, he was still missing to the head, but a lot of his body shots were getting through, and his strength and size started to get on top of Tabiti. Round 6 was quite eventful. It was a good round for Dorticos for the most part. He actually suffered a cut in round 6, and the doctor took a look at it, and at one stage Dorticos looked really uncomfortable, and it looked like he was looking for a way out. The cut was caused by a clash of heads, so it would have gone to the scorecards, but when Dorticos was with the doctor, he looked really uncomfortable, and that was a bit of a worrying sign for me, but he pushed through it, and he finished round 6 quite strongly, working that body, applying pressure, and in round 6, Tabiti also got a point deduction for excessive holding, and I think that was a fair point deduction. In this fight, Tabiti was fairly negative. He was holding a lot, he was moving excessively, and he was kind of intimidated in there by the pressure, power and size of Dorticos. After round 6, it was basically just Dorticos pushing Tabiti back against the ropes, clubbing to the body, coming up top with clubbing right hands to the side of the head, and he was just gradually wearing Tabiti down. Tabiti, he would land the odd good shot here and there. He would land some nice uppercuts in the pocket, some nice body shots, a couple of nice chopping right hands, but the quality work from Tabiti, although it was eye-catching at times, it really was too few and far in between. And, in this fight, Tabiti was the guy who was gassing, and Dorticos was maintaining his work rate. And that's one thing that kind of surprised me in this fight. Dorticos has had a reputation of having a bad gas tank, and as we saw in the Gassiev fight. But in this fight, it was almost role reversal, where Tabiti was gassing and he got knocked out late, just like Dorticos did against Gassiev. But yeah, the fight ended in round 10, and it was a beautiful knockout. Tabiti was on the floor for a good 20-30 seconds, I want to say. I think the knockout was a result of exhaustion, to be quite honest. Tabiti, he opened up for a right hand, really slow, and Dorticos timed him with his own right hand, bang on the chin, and it knocked out Tabiti with one punch. Beautiful knockout, and I enjoyed the fight for the most part. A bit of holding here and there by Tabiti, a bit of excessive movement, but I enjoyed the pressure that Dorticos was applying. And yeah, all in all, a good solid performance by Dorticos, and he now goes to the final of the World Boxing Super Series, where he will meet the winner of Neris Briedis and Krzysztof Glowacki. Also, Dorticos is now the new IBF Cruiserweight Champion. So Dorticos is now a 2-time Cruiserweight Champion, and He follows in Juan Pablo Hernandez's path by picking up the IBF Cruiserweight title. Hernandez was a fellow Cuban, of course. So, a good day for Yuniel Dorticos. I am pleased for him. I think he's a good fighter. He's a fun fighter, and he comes to fight. So, I am pleased Dorticos got the win in this fight. And he certainly has a chance against either Glowacki or Briedis. I think Briedis, stylistically, is a tougher fight for Dorticos. But he still has a chance. And a Glowacki fight would be an all-out war. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the final, regardless of who he fights. As for Andrew Tabiti, where does he go from here? I mean, he does have quite some rebuilding job to do now, because ultimately it was a bad knockout. But not only that, before the knockout, I felt Tabiti, it looked like he was feeling sorry for himself in there on a few occasions. So it was a bad defeat. You know, Tabiti, he is still fairly young. He's 29 years old. He does have some good talent, but, you know, he really needs to go back to the drawing boards and start again. But yeah, good performance by Yuniel Dorticos. He is now the new IBF Cruiserweight Champion, as I said, and he progresses to the World Boxing Super Series final. So credit to him. Congratulations. Share your thoughts below on this fight. Peace.